Hello and welcome to Miss G's online art class. So things are gonna get a little different around here today. As you can see, I've got some interesting ingredients on the table here that we're gonna be combining together to create something extra special for our project this week. Are you ready? We're going to be making our own homemade clay. So I would recommend, if you can, grab a bowl. You may not have a bowl that's this big, or maybe yours is way bigger than this, but go ahead and grab something that you can combine the ingredients in to mix them all together. You're gonna wanna make sure you grab some flour. It doesn't matter what kind of flour you have, just make sure you grab some type of flour, okay? Get some salt and some measuring cups. Also, you will need some water, and that's actually where we're gonna start first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of water, okay? 1/4 cup. All right, and when you are measuring your ingredients, it's usually best if you keep it flat down on the table, and then you can check and make sure that you're at the line. That way, you know, you're not skewing it like this and going, I think that's about a 1/4 cup. All right, so once you have your 1/4 cup of water, you're gonna go ahead and pour that into where you're gonna start to mix things, okay? Now, I am going to come in with my salt, all right? And I am going to pour, again, another 1/4 cup of salt. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna grab this guy right here. And this is a new thing of salt, so I gotta make sure. Oh, we're good, okay. So I'm going to pour again 1/4 cup, that's perfect. Okay, so with my water I already have in here, again, that 1/4 cup of salt, let's go ahead and put it into our water. Okie doke, so now the last thing it's gonna be is grab our flour. Now, your flour, you're actually going to get double the amount that you just got with those past two ingredients, okay? So you're going to get 1/2 cup, okay? 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2. Oh my goodness, are we using math and art? Crazy. So I'm gonna come here, and again, keep it still on the table. Okay, so take our 1/2 cup. Some of this off my hands. I'll actually rub it into my hands a little bit. See, I'm kind of getting them a little bit chalky. All right, let's pour it in. Okay, so now we have a mixture that looks a little something like this, okay? We need to now combine our ingredients. Now, typically, when you are cooking or baking, you would take something called a whisk and you would put them all together, okay? I'm actually just gonna go ahead and use my hands, all right? So I'm gonna scoop and sort of keep turning around to blend in my ingredients. I'm gonna show you that right now, okay? So I want you guys to take a look, because as I'm doing this, do you see how my consistency is starting to change? It went from being really liquidy to now I'm kind of getting more of a solid, but it's a little bit crumbly, so I gotta keep working on combining my ingredients together. So I'm gonna scoop this up. I'm trying to make sure I continue to wrap around. Like this. Okay. So I have something like this, okay? Now, it's definitely going to be a little sticky, okay? And we are gonna do something that's called kneading, okay? You might see this when you are, you know, maybe you see your parent or guardian working on making some ingredients, and they might be, for instance, pizza, okay? They might be kneading the dough, which means, right, we're gonna take it, and we're gonna push it like this, okay? And we're gonna really mix it all in together. Got some parts down here. Now I wanna show you guys something you can do. If your dough is a little bit maybe liquidy and sticky, the first batch I made of this, I was definitely very liquidy and sticky. It was all over my hands. So what I did was I added a little bit more flour. Now, sometimes when you bake cookies, you can do that too. Like every year I make gingerbread cookies. And I always, whenever I'm cutting shapes out of them, I gotta put some flour down like this and get some on my hands so that when I'm touching my dough, it helps add to it. makes it so it's not so sticky, it gets to a better consistency, okay? So once you think you have gotten, I'm gonna roll this around, okay? Get a little bit more on here. All right, so once you think you have gotten your dough, all right, to a pretty good consistency, it's no longer sticking, your ingredients feel pretty mushed up together, okay? Then what I'm gonna want you to do is set it off to just dry for a little bit. Now there's a couple different options you can do for setting off to dry, okay? You could just go ahead and maybe leave it out on a counter or a table. But what I would suggest, and this is what I decided to do with my clay previously, is put it inside a little Ziploc bag, and then you can put that Ziploc bag inside of your fridge, and you can put it in there for maybe about 15, 20 minutes or so, and just sort of let it harden up a little bit, okay? So you guys can see here, I've got a pretty good piece of clay, homemade dough, all right? I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and then I will show you what we're gonna do after that. So if your clay has had some time to dry, whether you put it in the fridge or you let it dry out on the counter,